Hi, I'm Felipa, and today is day 170 of my 365-day commitment to complete reading the Bible. So I start on Proverb 12. So this is about varied observations on virtues and vices. And so I'll go through some of the verses that I really enjoyed. So starting with verse 3, a man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. So meaning that, like the core of who you are, right? Like the root of who you are will never be established if you're wicked, but if you're righteous, like it cannot be moved because you are established properly. In verse 5, the thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. Even like the very thoughts of the righteous are right in nature, but listening to somebody else speak, so counsel you, will be deceitful. So don't just think that because somebody's saying something, it doesn't mean that there's wisdom there. In verse 8, a man shall be commended according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised. So somebody who has wisdom is somebody that is, looked highly upon and commended, but somebody who isn't is likely going to be despised. Verse 11 that I really like, he that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. So meaning that if you take care of you, right, like this is a sort of an analogy for tilling your land, so cultivating yourself, your own person. So he that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread. So if you continue to till yourself, if you continue to work on yourself, you will have abundance and you will have a yield of a labor. But if you follow vain persons, you will not have understanding. So you're not actually going to profit any fruits of your labor because there is no labor. You're just following vain people. In verse 15, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. So a fool is going to just constantly think that he's always right, but somebody who is wise is always going to look into counsel that comes his way. So that person is going to grow wiser by accepting feedback from others. In verse 16, a fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. So a fool, if he's angry, he's like, you're going to know because they're going to show their cards. They're going to be rude. They're going to be combative. They're going to embarrass themselves. But a prudent man, well, he covers his shame because he has the wisdom to understand that he shouldn't maybe react emotionally or irrationally in the moment, and he can control himself. In verse 20, deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. So the heart of the people who have deceit, they're just going to have evil, but those who talk about peace, their heart is going to have joy. In verse 23, a prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. So a prudent man will keep his wisdom, contain his knowledge, because he's going to be figuring out how he can use that to his own favor and for the good of others and for the good of his life. But fools are going to be the ones that are probably the loudest. Verse 25, heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. So acknowledging that we all have hardships and that it makes our heart heavy, but if we can even speak one good word towards somebody, give them wisdom or knowledge, it'll make that hardship easier and alleviate their pain. And lastly, in verse 28, in the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. So if you continue to lead a life that is righteous, there is no death in that pathway. There is only life. Thank you for listening. That's it for day 170. I'll be back tomorrow for day 171.